There's an easy way to beat a narcissist without fighting them. Who can outsmart a narcissist when they're playing by their own rules? How do you outmaneuver them? What methods can you employ to fend them off? How do you effectively guide them? Or is it all futile? Indeed, there exists a way to triumph over them, but it necessitates sidestepping their meticulously crafted tactics, over which they reign supreme. Just as wrestling with pigs leads to both parties getting dirty, with the pigs reveling in it, while you end up feeling soiled and perhaps even injured, confronting a narcissist can yield similar outcomes. So, how does one confront them? The precise answer on how to defeat them eludes me. In today's episode, we'll unravel this mystery. I am deeply appreciative of your decision to join me on my channel. Today, we'll explore 5 innovative strategies aimed at empowering you to overcome a narcissist without resorting to physical confrontation. Intrigued? Don't forget to subscribe before we dive in, as your subscription aids in spreading awareness about narcissistic abuse, a topic I consistently highlight and advocate for. 1. Chill out around them. Narcissists thrive on exploiting your emotions, as I've emphasized before. They feed off emotional turmoil, akin to parasites and predators thriving in their element. The moment your emotions are stirred, they gain a sense of empowerment. Should you react to their provocations with anger and raised voices, you inadvertently relinquish control of the situation, deviating from your authentic self. Yet, for narcissists, their essence is encapsulated in their tumultuous demeanor. Given this reality, what's the optimal approach? Refuse to succumb to their attempts at inciting you. Instead, delineate firm boundaries and assert your personal space. Remember, when they seek to rationalize their behavior, refrain from responding with anger or aggression. No justifications are owed, and you need not prove your worth to them. They are fully cognizant of their actions. The issue lies in their reluctance to acknowledge them or their eagerness to shift blame onto you. If engaging in an argument would yield no benefit, then it's futile to entertain it. Engaging in these futile discussions will only lead to the loss of your most precious possession, yourself, your peace of mind, and your resilience. Cease the futile attempts to justify yourself. Consider why you seek explanations. The accusations they hurl at you often bear no resemblance to reality. They are merely attempting to gaslight you into questioning your sanity. With such deceitful individuals, there's no point in trying to rationalize or explain anything to them. The 4th and pivotal step is to refrain from internalizing the blame they attempt to shift onto you. Expect them to hurl every negative epithet and derogatory term your way. However, it's essential to remind yourself, that does not reflect my truth, and refrain from taking their words personally. This tactic, known as projection, serves as a shield for them, essentially confessing their own faults through projecting them onto you. Your task is to gather evidence to substantiate such confessions. If the narcissist accuses you of harming our children, recognize that this behavior is out of character for them. It's like they've left you a clue, signaling that something's amiss, and it's up to you to decipher it. Take a step back and maintain your composure when they escalate into uncontrollable yelling and screaming. This grants you control over the situation. You can calmly respond with something like, "Let me know when you're ready to have a civil conversation," and then remain silent until they calm down. Consistently redirect the conversation back to the main topic or address the issue at hand. Persist in asserting your boundaries and refusing to grant them power over you. For instance, you might calmly state, "I don't engage with that level of aggression," and leave it at that. Refuse to be drawn into their manipulative tactics or exploitation attempts. Responding with brief, assertive statements or monosyllabic responses can also be effective. For example, "That's not what happened," or "I respect your opinion, but we can agree to disagree." By maintaining your cool and not reacting to their tantrums, you diminish the effectiveness of their manipulative behavior. 2. Keep calling the shots. Stay calm. It's important to control how you react, because others might try to use it against you. When I say stay decisive, I mean keep your brain's thinking area, the prefrontal cortex, working well. But how do you do that? By paying attention to how your body feels. When we're scared or stressed, our brains can't think clearly. We can't plan or make good choices. That's because our advanced thinking part, the prefrontal cortex, isn't working right. Instead, we're stuck in survival mode, where our emotions guide us. But that won't help us here. So, always pay attention to how your body feels and try to relax it. When dealing with a narcissist, think of them like a barking dog on a leash. They can only bark while you stay relaxed and careful, but not too worried. Being overly cautious won't help. Relax your guard. Stay alert but relaxed, like a wet noodle. This is super important, as my own experience shows. Your help is appreciated. Think of it as playing chess. Before you make a move, think about what others might do next. Sit up straight, keep your arms relaxed, and remind yourself that you're dealing with someone who acts like a toddler. It's my job, but I don't have to react. The third strategy involves leveraging their narcissism. Lastly, don't underestimate the power of playing into their narcissistic tendencies. While it may seem daunting, there are various ways to use a narcissist's obsession with their own image to your advantage if you understand this trait well. You can tap into their desire to be seen as a superior parent by important figures like the court system or law enforcement. Position your decisions as beneficial for your children, and you might just get them to reluctantly agree. Some narcissists also have a fear of being exposed, so consider how you can trigger that fear and make them feel compelled to act swiftly to prevent it. Think about what might tempt them to act impulsively, perhaps the promise of immediate gratification to stroke their ego, assert dominance, or feel in control. Use these insights to craft your own strategies for manipulating their weaknesses to achieve your goals. 4. Present the truth without excessive pursuit of victory. Next, focus on presenting the facts rather than aiming solely to win. Narcissists excel at manipulation, so getting too caught up in winning can lead you astray from the bigger picture. They know all the tricks to throw you off course or stall progress. Therefore, instead of obsessing over victory, prioritize navigating through the challenges ahead. That should be your ultimate goal, but remain cautious. When I say stick to the facts, I mean gather and present concrete evidence for each of their actions. In legal settings, you can't directly label someone as a narcissist. Some observers might even dismiss your claims as mere psycho-labeling if you mention narcissism in their presence. How can you prove your case? Diagnosing someone as a narcissist takes months. Keep the end goal in mind. So, how do you plan to skillfully handle this? Highlight every aspect of their behavior with precision. Let's delve into the characteristics often associated with narcissists. They can be haughty, vengeful, punitive, uncooperative, hostile, strict, condescending, exploitative, excessive, and occasionally masochistic. This list could go on indefinitely. However, instead of labeling them as narcissists, let's explore alternative adjectives that capture their personality traits. Your task is to identify and gather evidence for each trait they exhibit. For instance, provide specific examples showcasing their haughtiness, masochism, and rigidity. Start by listing examples, followed by presenting concrete evidence. Ensure that the evidence is readily accessible, or demonstrate it if necessary. Create a folder labeled Exploitation for any relevant text messages, making it easier to locate evidence when needed. Your assignment is to draft a comprehensive biography of this individual, detailing their character traits. Use a Word document to describe these traits in depth, providing evidence for each one through examples and descriptions. This approach will portray you as level-headed, sensible, assertive, and articulate, demonstrating that you have more evidence than mere words. Unlike narcissists, who often rely on empty talk, your documentation will speak volumes. The key lies in knowing how to leverage it effectively. 5. Recognize when to step back. Know when to take a step back. This is crucial when dealing with narcissists. They thrive on what they perceive as supply, whether positive or negative. However, it's important to recognize when providing this supply is no longer beneficial. If a situation becomes untenable or unproductive, it's time to cut ties and move forward. Stick to your decision and act accordingly. In some cases, scheduling a meeting with a narcissist can be counterproductive, especially if you're seeking negotiation or cooperation. During such meetings, they may deflect blame and avoid addressing the issue at hand. If this occurs, it's perfectly acceptable to acknowledge the situation and suggest revisiting the discussion at a later, more opportune time. Alternatively, you can choose to let the matter rest for the time being. Knowing when to step back is key to maintaining your emotional and mental well-being in interactions with narcissists. Step back and assert yourself. Ensure they don't manipulate you. They dislike you and find your presence unpleasant. They take pleasure in humiliating you, often labeling you as insane, even when they fit the description better. Take control of your life. Refuse to tolerate their abuse or nonsense. Recognize when to cut them off or walk away from the situation. Only reward them with attention or resources when they behave respectfully or show improvement. Treat interactions with them like a business transaction. Give only as much as you receive in return. Think of it as a casino. Test different approaches and reactions. Be flexible and adaptable. Experiment with different strategies to see what works best. Celebrate small victories and learn from them. Discard what doesn't work and continue to grow until you achieve your goals. Leave no trace of their toxicity behind as you move forward. That's all for today. I hope this episode provided some insights. Feel free to leave a comment to share your thoughts. Your presence here is greatly appreciated. Until next time, may your journey toward healing continue. Hello everyone. We're discussing the aftermath of rejecting a narcissist after realizing their actual nature. Selfish narcissists exploit others' emotions. They believe they are the most important, deserving, intelligent, and praiseworthy. Putting down others, envy, and a desire to be the best in everything are subtle signs of these traits. They manipulate everyone seen as a slight threat. Love bombing and trauma bonding are frequent methods for narcissistic suppliers. By convincing their targets that relationship problems are their fault, narcissists evade accountability. Narcissists, self-righteous and unaware, think they can treat others whatever they choose. Their phony persona protects them, causing tensions and the appearance of constant conflict. Have you seen a narcissist lie about being hit on to upset friends? Deception can cause miscommunication and wrath. My first boyfriend flirted with my closest buddy, teaching me this. Remember that narcissism is a personality feature, not a disease. Everyone has favorable and negative traits. Understanding our egos and harshness helps us evolve and become more self-aware. Self-development means being less reactive, eliminating ego-driven habits, and acquiring insights. However, growth is not guaranteed, especially with a cruel, arrogant, and uncaring narcissist who may cause reactive responses like an abused puppy. Personal progress requires acknowledging and addressing our tendencies. Self-aware and willing to improve shortcomings are healthy traits. Unfortunately, narcissists use self-awareness for manipulation and avoidance. Distance and impartiality are needed to handle narcissistic abuse. Healing begins with recognizing patterns in ourselves and others. Narcissists often act like they control you, suppressing your thoughts. Confronting them may become abusive and aggressive. Narcissistic relationships, especially codependent ones, can make you feel bewildered and barely alive. Though dysfunctional families lack perspective-taking tools, remember that you are not accountable. Narcissistic love bombing can make you feel like you're walking on eggshells every day with their entitlement, victim-blaming, and unsubstantiated allegations. Even in pandemonium, remember that the issue is not your responsibility. Rejecting a narcissist takes planning. What to expect when confronting them is crucial. Preparing for battle by studying your opponent helps you stay calm. Unfortunately, narcissists don't treat courteous, kind, and fair people equally. Narcissists, who cannot regulate their emotions, rely on you, making the idea of treating others as you want to be treated ineffective. Rejecting a narcissist is like telling Dracula the blood bank is closed. Inviting narcissists into your life feeds them, and when you say no, they get angry. Understand these dynamics before ending a relationship with a probable narcissist. Like Dracula, narcissists create a false self to avoid relationships. They need adoration and power from someone who matches their inflated self-image. They enjoy creating fear, obedience, and authority. Imagine a narcissist as a huge toddler throwing a tantrum without their pacifier. Narcissists get angry when refused because they think the world should revolve around them. They hate rejection because they think they're better than others and deserve everything. Their priorities lack empathy and social responsibility. Narcissists are generally nurtured by egotistical, overindulgent parents who inculcate superiority and lack of empathy. Exploitation, especially of the inferior, is strongly rooted. Narcissists may come from excessive praise or traumatic childhoods with shame and abandonment trauma, according to certain studies. Narcissists don't understand cause and effect, hence they don't understand the self-fulfilling prophecy. They blame others for their misery and refuse to take responsibility for their actions. Rejection makes narcissists anxious about vulnerability. They use passive antagonism, scorn, projection, and gaslighting to avoid this vulnerability, participating in superficial interactions. Love bombing helps develop ties without connecting. Despite their self-dismissal, narcissists often fail to realize that others may dislike and reject them. They dread rejection and loneliness, yet lack maturity and life skills for self-reflection. Rejecting a narcissist is complicated by their incapacity to understand cause and effect links and protective strategies. Cruel relationships fail like flowers need sun, water, and healthy soil. For a narcissist, maintaining a relationship is more important than its health. Despite distance, they use passive aggression, triangulation, and degrading tactics to maintain contact. Narcissists use ego shields to isolate themselves. Breaking up with a narcissist is like opening a wound. Narcissists blame their partners for their own sadness and attack, unaware that their damage, rejection, and behaviors cause them to leave. Their failure to understand cause and effect linkages makes them think their spouses are harming them. Narcissists hide behind their self-image to avoid rejection. Like NTV's Catfish, they create a phony ego to seduce victims with love bombing, excessive validation, flattery, and persuasive language. Victims may be self-aware and narcissistic, but pathological narcissism is concerning. The healthy narcissism everyone needs might become obsessive attention-seeking for someone with low self-esteem. While catfish users utilize bogus identities to increase self-esteem, the real person behind this front is frequently insecure, traumatized by abandonment, and ashamed. Rejection makes narcissists worry and lose their mask. Their manipulation, love bombing, trauma bonding, triangulation, projection, and dismissiveness fail. This rejection confirms their innermost fears, that everyone is unreliable and untrustworthy, like those who have let them down. Narcissists lash out without remorse after rejection. By refusing abuse, the victim broke their norms and deserves vengeance. The narcissist thinks the victim should have accepted their control, labeling, and superiority. The victim rejects the narcissist's unrealistic ego and control attempt by rejecting these elements. Rejecting narcissists is difficult. You'll see that they twist facts to fit their story, ignoring cause and effect, and avoiding responsibility. They may penalize you because they don't comprehend that their behavior made you say enough is enough. Rejecting a narcissist has many consequences. They start with public, private, and professional character assassination. They may embarrass you online, at family events, or among friends. Privately, depressing messages may fill your mailbox. Slurs, wrath, and screaming may occur. Negative reviews, hearsay, and public criticism can damage your reputation professionally. They will work hard to injure professionals, possibly outsourcing. Narcissists use subtle strategies, so be careful. Narcissists can act like 2-year-olds who throw tantrums when denied a toy. Like children, they lack self-improvement skills and fail to moderate their conduct without manipulating people for narcissism. Rejecting a narcissist breaks their reality, making them act childish. This can include physical abuse, screaming tantrums, intimidation, or financial problems. They may even try to turn your children against you by using adult emotional capacity and resources like a youngster using cruel remarks. Narcissists triangulate to make you look unstable and pity you. After losing their main narcissistic source, they actively seek new ones. In public, they may act normal while secretly scheming your rejection revenge. Narcissists triangulate by showing compassion and adoration before dismissing you. They develop empathy to avoid rejection and abandonment. If they perceive rejection, they may manipulate family ties. My parents supporting my ex was very upsetting, and as a codependent, it took years for me to recognize and act on my emotions. Narcissists also use guilt. They blame you for the breakup while hiding their harsh, passive-aggressive, and dishonest actions. They lie to cast doubt on your breakup reasons. Some may even use religion or morality to smear you. Narcissists struggle with cause and effect logic and interpersonal challenges. Your split seems arbitrary, absolving them of blame. Recognizing this dynamic can help you with a narcissist breakup. My divorce required me to examine my role in my marriage's downfall. My ex refused to fix the relationship and advised me to seek legal advice following therapy. Though the anguish was difficult, I knew that staying in that relationship would kill me. I decided not to teach my kids codependency after realizing this. I was called mad, egotistical, and queer in retaliation. Narcissists use situations to make you wonder and regret your choices. Love bombing is showering you with affection and meeting all your needs. A client's husband became the perfect partner after divorce, remembering anniversaries, doing housework, finding work, and quitting drinking. A seemingly beneficial change is often used to get you back. Narcissists may give you presents, flattery, and dream language. This change is temporary because they want you back as their main narcissistic source. This temporary change prevents you from holding them accountable for past relationship behaviors. Narcissists flaunt their new source of supply after a breakup. They may ignore online scrutiny, stalking, poor reviews, smear tactics, and false charges. Despite not cutting relationships, vindictive narcissists may breach many lines and act angrily if they think you have. While you recover from the breakup, the narcissist seems unfazed. It can be confusing to see them brag on social media, move on quickly, or get married soon after your breakup. They behave like you haven't left a mark and are unimportant, making the situation more unsettling. You must realize that your experience is not insane. It takes time to accept living with someone who acted superior, used you for emotional gratification, and presented a fake personality. Narcissists may accidentally manipulate your emotions and remain vindictive after the relationship. Lacking self-awareness and introspection, they think your supposed offenses were justified. Your grandiosity reflects their need to feel special and respected for their accomplishments. When you leave this role, they may react negatively. If you're with a narcissist, learn about trauma bonding, projection, and gaslighting. This knowledge can ground you and clarify your circumstance. Narcissists target empaths who ignore their wants or please others. These patterns must be recognized and addressed for personal rehabilitation. Emotionally healthy people set and maintain healthy boundaries, unlike codependent people. Emotionally healthy people set boundaries without remorse, unlike codependents. Understanding and addressing these factors is essential to managing narcissist relationships. Codependents may erroneously blame themselves for narcissists' wrath, feeling inadequate. Narcissists may use your weaknesses in disagreements. Sharing personal difficulties requires discretion and a confidant who values and respects your experiences, regardless of relationship status. Rejecting a narcissist can cause manipulation and vengeance. Leave your thoughts below and subscribe for more smart debates. Till next time, keep informed.